What's happening, everybody? teddypay here, and welcome to another gamecast of mine. Today we'll be going through a map on the Tower of Doom. It's a quick match that I just played, and I'll be casting it right now. So let's get on to the team. We have Nova, Artanis, Diablo, Tyrande, and Lily on the blue team, and we have Illidan, Diablo, Vala, Anoop, and Malfurion on the red team. And we go right to the team analysis. If I could say that the team that has the advantage would be the red team, simply because of its balance in the sense that there's a good amount of DPS, tanks, and one support to balance out the entire team dynamics, while for the blue team it was mostly a bit more towards the support side, and a bit leading to therefore a bit more inconsistent DPS. So we have Artanis and Diablo on the blue team being tanks, and we have Tyrande and Lily. Tyrande more of a utility support hero, and Lily being the healer. Nova will be able to deal damage, but won't be able to deal enough damage. After all, her DPS is more of the assassin, guerrilla tactics, and a bit more inconsistent. So for this matchup, the red team will have a bit more of a team advantage, simply because it has more balance. But actually, if we dissect the heroes a bit more, we can actually see that they are roughly the same, with Diablo on both teams, Artanis and Anoop mostly a CC'er. Artanis can deal more damage, but Anoop compensates by having more crowd control abilities. Lily and Malfurion very strong healers, although Malfurion is stronger in its tier list, but roughly the teams are the same. But we will therefore see how it happens right now. And here we go to the Tower of Doom map. The Tower of Doom map has invulnerable cores, where the cores has to be damaged by capturing the altars that randomly spawn across the map. So let's go right to the talents. We have Ambush Snipe by Nova, Reactive Parry by Artanis. We have Seasoned Marksman for Tyrande, which shows that they know that they are lacking in the DPS aspect, and they are going to get Tyrande to go a bit more to the DPS side, a bit less of the utility side. Lily with Conjurer's Pursuit. Illidan, I haven't chosen yet. Diablo with Soul Feast. Vala with Composite Arrow, going for the crowd control build. And Noob has the Assault Scarab, interesting build, going more for the attack damage of spawn beetles. Shando's Clarity by Innovate, pretty standard build as well. Illidan going for the Shadow Shield. Diablo on the red team hasn't really picked his talent just yet. And then we can look at the lane. We have Tyrande, we have Nova on the middle lane, together with Malfurion and Vala on the red team. We have Diablo and Lily on the blue team, with a single Illidan on the red team. On the top lane, we have Artanis from the blue team and Anoop on the red team on the bottom lane. So far, pretty peaceful. There's not been gangs, and then, you know, we kind of realized that they're most probably friends on the blue team, so that's actually quite an interesting mechanic right there. But let's pass the point. So Vala going on very low HP. Like I said, the Nova and Tyrande will be going for, who is going for the DPS build, will be able to deal quite a lot of burst damage, and so low HP heroes like Vala will have to take very good care of the HP, so that it doesn't fall into a dangerous range. After all, Nova can easily pick her down. But with Vala's multi-shot being used in a very good extent, he's able to accurately pinpoint Nova by just spamming the multi-shot and dealing AoE damage, revealing Nova, so that he doesn't expect any hidden surprises. Like right now, with a very well timed snipe, we can show that Vala is gonna get dealt a lot of damage from the blue team's Nova. The altars are gonna spawn very soon. The altars are actually going to spawn on both the blue and red side of the team. So if you're going for a very friendly approach, the red team and the blue team can actually capture their altars on each of their respective side of the field. But the blue team is going for a bit more aggressive approach. They're going to the red team side. Diablo and Lily. Diablo going straight in for the red team's altar, trying to intercept them from capturing the altar, while the blue team's Tyrande is going to be at their own altar. And then with Diablo with entangling roots capturing most of the red team's hero. When the Diablo is taken down from the blue team, he has overextended with very little healing support from Lily. Lily has to retreat with Anoop with very low health, but won't be able to be kept alive by his shield. And the red team also takes down the blue team's Artanis. A very well defensive strategy from the blue team, from the red team rather, sorry. And then he made both teams managed to capture each of their altars, sending 4 missiles to each of their respective cores. I would say that was actually a very risky move on the blue team's part to actually overextend into the red team's territory. So even though that both teams managed to capture the altar, they actually gave the red team a huge EXP lead by giving them 2 free kills. Definitely would have done better with a more defensive strategy right there. So the red team, not losing their momentum, will be going for the siege camps on their side of the field. Nova on the blue team scouting them. They know that she would know they were taking the siege camp, but couldn't have done anything on her own. After all, the red team, unity is strength, managed to stay alive by keeping themselves together. And the red team goes straight for the middle lane's Tyrande, but Tyrande managed to get to the middle gate just in time before almost imminent death. Very well played. So Nova is going, the blue team on Novas will be scouting around, trying to look for low HP heroes, just like Malfurion right there. The Malfurion will be ganked by the blue team's Diablo. Will Malfurion be able to survive? Vala comes in, trying to defend Malfurion. Malfurion goes for the entangling roots, captures Diablo, and manages to keep himself alive. A very well played by the red team's Malfurion. And so that we can see that it's relatively peaceful, but it's always the calm before the storm. The altars are going to spawn in the next 20 seconds. And right now, this is a very interesting position where one is in the middle of the lane and the other is at the bottom of the lane. So if heroes have to capture the altar, they have to stick together. But if they stick together, it's a bit more of a defensive approach. And furthermore, they may not want to risk a clash. Like I said, the red team has a bit more of advantages in the clash. Tyrande hasn't really got a lot of stacks on the thing, and red team managed to take down the blue team's Lily. Lily, a very important support hero, may not be able to support the blue team's Diablo right now, but blue team's Diablo is still overcompensating inside, facing 2 of the red team's tanks. A very risky move. And then at the bottom lane, red team going against Artanis and Nova, trying to contest for the altar, but with Lily down just now. Lily will take some time to come to the bottom lane to actually heal the heroes. Artanis at very low health, and it doesn't look like he will be healed very anytime soon, and it will be taken down by an intense onslaught of red team's entangling root and Anoop's stuns. And so the red team with relative ease will manage to capture the bottom altar very well, actually dealing, and in fact actually managed to capture the middle altar as well, dealing 8 damage to the blue team's core. Very well played by the red team, and I think, but a big reason why the red team is actually leading is definitely the blue team's Diablo overcompensating. Just now he actually went against 2 of the red team's hero. Definitely an unwise move. If blue team wants to win this, they have to play defensive. The tanks have to come and stick together so as to ensure that the red team doesn't deal so much damage. Artan is going for the kill for the red team's Diablo. Diablo will be taken down, but is still able to spawn with his trade ability. Definitely a very well played from blue team's Artanis. And Tyrande will be taken down by Illidan. Illidan basically darting around the battlefield, going for the leap, going for the sweeping strike, and taking down Tyrande as well. Illidan has a very important role, which is able to take down the blue team's Tyrande and Nova. Illidan firstly has to survive the entire onslaught of Nova's attack, but if he manages to survive it, if he picks Metamorphosis for example, he can actually take down at least Nova and Tyrande before dying, and this allows all the crowd control abilities of Anoop and Malfurion's entangling roots to actually go for the kill and control the blue team very well. And Nova actually revealed himself. The whole red team is going for Nova, but Nova manages to come to her side of the field just nice before being saved by her teammates Artanis and Tyrande. Red team, knowing that they are a bit overcompensated, moves back. So this behavior of the red team should definitely be emulated by the blue team's Diablo. Diablo may be overcompensating it. But just like now, Diablo goes in and will be taken down by Illidan, Diablo, and Vala. Very well played for the red team's part. And so the bottom altars are coming out, and there's only one altar, so if you're going to need the missiles, they have to fight for the missiles. Illidan going on very low HP. Nova has landed her entire combo with Tyrande stun. Illidan will be out of action for a while, probably going into the fountain to recover his HP. And then there's a holding. Anoop going in for the Bro Strike with the toss from Diablo. Diablo goes in for the lightning breath and manages to take down the blue team's Tyrande. Nova on very low health, he has to retreat and Nova is effectively out of action. Illidan going for the Metamorphosis, goes in and tries to take down the blue team's Diablo. Blue team's Diablo has to retreat, base merry-go-round around his fort, but with the intense onslaught of Illidan, he has to retreat, won't be able to go for the merry-go-round, and Illidan easily takes down the blue team's fort, increasing the number of missiles from 4 to 5, decreasing the number of missiles from the blue team from 4 to 3. And without losing any momentum, the red team goes for blue team siege units at the side of the camp. So this further increases their offensive capabilities. And red team is also the first to hit their level 10 talents. And let's look at the level 10 talents. Metamorphosis for Illidan, Lightning Breath for Diablo, Strafe for Vala, Locust Swarm for Anoop, and Tranquility for Furon. A very standard Hero League build, so this should be fine for them. And the Artanis Purifier Beam goes for Vala, and Vala will be taken out by Diablo. And all Diablo and Artanis needs to do is take down the red team's Diablo, but he goes for Lightning Grab, dealing a heavy amount of DOT damage. And Diablo goes for the stun on the AoE, and then he's taken down. Does he take down any of the hero? No, he doesn't take down any of the hero. Red team's Anoop gets taken down though, and then red team has very low HP now. The red team's Diablo has to retreat. Belfurion going for the heal, trying to keep his teammate alive, and he does without suffering any more casualties from just now. And so blue team definitely going a bit more on the offensive right now, going in to deal as much damage to red team's fort. And red team has to retreat for now. And right now we can see that the altar is going to spawn at the bottom side of the map. Illidan going for the mercenary creeps to deal more damage to the center fort of the blue team. And now we can see that the entire 10 heroes are going to converge as this single altar point. Who will be able to capture the altar? Let's stay tuned to find out. We have Illidan going in and has to retreat after noticing that there are a lot of heroes right now. The Purifier Beam goes to Illidan and definitely phasing him out right now. Lightning Grab goes out and the enemy Diablo and Artanis is going to be captured. Enemy Diablo is taken down and slowly being Artanis from very well played damaging tactics from the red team's Diablo. And with only Tyrande left on the blue team, the Tyrande has to retreat, but isn't going to be spared. Illidan jumps right in together with his teammate Anoop and is going to take down the Tyrande, and the red team managed to capture the missile and deal 5 damage to the blue team's core. Definitely very well played. It now the entire momentum is shifting to the red team, and it was going to take a lot for the blue team to actually come back from this situation. So firstly, blue team has to aim to sort of convert their bottom red fort to blue fort again, but it goes straight for the red team. But blue team's Artanis will be taken down despite Diablo landing a perfect AoE stun from his ultimate. And then here comes the Starfire, the AoE damage. Lightning Breath goes out, captures a lot of the heroes, will be taking down the blue team's Diablo in the process. Tyrande in a very dangerous situation, but with Lily and her own heals keeping her alive, will be able to stay alive. But the last 3 heroes are of very low HP. They only can do proper normal zoning techniques. The red team in a very advantageous spot goes straight for the boss. Probably will be able to take down the boss as we speak. The blue team, knowing that they have to convert back the red forts to blue, goes from the middle and the bottom lane, trying to take it down and convert it to blue fort. After all, doesn't matter if the blue team actually managed to capture the altar now, they only were able to send 2 missiles to the red team's core, while red team with a single altar capture can send even 6 missiles to the blue team's core. Definitely a very advantageous position, and we can see that the blue team will be able to convert the middle fort back to blue. And let's look at the level 10 talents for the red team. Let's see how they want to go for the talents. But hang on, actually, the altars are going to spawn. So let's quickly go through. We have triple tap from Nova, Purifier Beam from Artanis, we have Apocalypse from Diablo, Starfall from Tyrande, and Water Dragon for Lily. Lily going for a bit more of the DPS, not going for the 1000 cups, but we'll see how that plays out. So the altar is coming in from the bottom lane. Diablo won't be facing any opposition at all. Will send 4 missiles straight to blue team's core. The blue team's core at a very low HP, and then there's a clash right now with Illidan going straight and then managed to metamorphosis out of there, saving himself. The blue team's Artanis gets shrink raid, and then is going to be taken out by an entire force of the red team. The red team in a very strong position right now, especially now with a 5v3 capacity. Blue team has to retreat, but Nova reveals himself. Illidan leaps in with Vala, dealing a lot of heavy damage to Nova, and will be taken down. Blue team's Diablo goes for the Apocalypse, stuns a lot of heroes, but won't be able to follow up. There isn't any DPS capabilities left on the blue team side. Diablo has to retreat, while the red team actually slowly takes down the blue team's bottom 4. The smash is almost entirely skewed into the favor, with right now 3 level differences from the red team compared to the blue team. Definitely a very difficult match for the blue team to actually come back from, but we can actually support the fact that blue team can come back from this situation. After all he has to do is a Purifier Beam and a very well placed Apocalypse from the blue team's Diablo to take almost the entire red team down. And a whole lightning breath from the red team's Diablo without hitting anything at all. Definitely a waste of a very good ultimate there, but we can further see if that actually makes a difference. After all, lightning breath is going to cool down in a relatively short amount of time, with around how much? 40 seconds left on the clock. But we have almost a team clash. Blue team is going to be going for the retreat with a Purifier Beam, going for the red team's Vala. Vala is going to be retreating, but is going to take a lot of damage going to deal a lot of damage on her teammates. Malfurion doing intensive healing on his teammate Noob, and will be able to sustain them without suffering any casualties on their side. But the altar is coming out. This is, like Illidan said, what I said, a very good chance to finish this game. Red team now at 6 missiles. If the red team manages to capture these 2 altars, they will be able to deal fatal damage to the blue team's core. So let's see how the blue team is going to respond. The blue team isn't going down without a fight, that's for sure. The blue team going in and trying to distort the altars from distort the red team from actually capturing the altar, but the red team will be able to take down both Tyrande and Lily. Looks like there's no one to contest the bottom altar, so now it's only left for the blue team to actually defend the middle altar. We have Nova on the scene. Nova is going to use her holo decoys to actually interrupt anyone who's trying to take out the altar, just like so. But there's 4 red teams on the middle altar. It is really difficult. Artani is coming in, and then an Apocalypse won't be able to stun Diablo and Malfurion, but this won't be able to stop them from actually capturing the altar. Malfurion actually going for the altar, but blue team's Diablo comes in. There is another fight in the middle with only the Artanis, but Artanis will be taken down. Purifier Beam with Vala won't be able to do much damage, and we have Diablo trying to save the day, going in and trying to interrupt, but will be shrink raid, will be taken down by the red whole team's Diablo. Lightning breath to actually secure the kill, and the red team will be able to capture the middle tower and will be able to send the last 6 missiles to the blue team's core, and that is GG. So I actually said something cheeky here, that's for trashing us earlier. We actually had a really horrible trashing just now. We actually suffered like a 5 level difference and from the same team, because we somehow ended up matchmaking. Definitely fate. I can actually stream that game and show how badly we got owned. But that's the end of this game. Thank you so much for listening. It was a pretty short game. Definitely I had fun. I had fun playing it, and I had twice as much fun casting it. Thank you for listening, and I definitely appreciate constructive feedback. Thanks for listening.